Do you need something sweet, but you realize that you're out of flour and eggs?
Oh no.
Paisley and I have a quick 8-ingredient recipe that'll take you less than an hour and you won't even need your oven. Stick with us and we're gonna show you. All right, so our family has a pretty big sweet tooth, but today we realized that we are out of flour and we're out of eggs. So we're gonna make no-bake cookies. Now that is one that I grew up having as a kid, and I know many of our sous chefs have in some way, shape, or form had a no-bake, whether it was staying a night over at a friend's house or an aunt would make them for a holiday gathering. If you don't know what a no-bake cookie is, or if you've never had one or never heard of one, this is a perfect recipe to take care of that sweet tooth without your flour, without your eggs, and without an oven. It will consist of 8 ingredients that most everyone should have, including sugar, butter, milk, oats, peanut butter, vanilla, cocoa powder, and salt. And if you don't have peanut butter in your house, boy, we've got a recipe for you that you should go check out. Paisley's peanut butter. In order for this recipe to come together as quickly as we promised, our mise en place is key. Now, Paisley, do you remember what mise en place is?
Everything in place.
Exactly. So Paisley, should we get in the kitchen?
Yep.
All right, let's go wash our hands and we'll meet you there. We're gonna need 1 3/4 cup sugar, a stick of butter, half a cup of milk, 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder, half a cup of peanut butter. In this case, we're using Paisley's famous peanut butter. We'll need 3 cups of quick oats, so rolled oats.
There you go.
That's good.
It's up 2 to 3.
About a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
No.
Yep. Nailed it.
And then salt. Now, pretty much every recipe that we've found online for no-bake cookies do not include salt, and that is crazy. This recipe absolutely needs salt. As a really good chef, you should include a little bit of salt in everything that you do in the kitchen, so that way it helps to balance the sweetness levels of your food, but it also helps to bring out the flavors and the nuances inside of the food as well. The full recipe will be in the description of the video, including your equipment lists, including your ingredients, and including the method. Now that we've gathered our ingredients, we're gonna move over to our stove. And this is the part where I'm gonna take over and Paisley's gonna help. So we're gonna need a large enough pan with a big enough volume in it that can accept all of our ingredients by the end of this, because we're gonna be mixing everything together in it. Our pan here, called a sauteuse, can handle about 8 cups worth of ingredients, and that is more than enough space for us to do what we need to in here. We're gonna get that pan on the stove, and we're going to add our 1 stick of butter, our half a cup of milk, our 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and our 1 3/4 cup sugar. We're gonna begin to stir that. As it heats up, you'll see the butter's gonna start to melt, the cocoa powder is gonna mix into the milk, the sugar is gonna dissolve, and it's gonna create kind of a sauce. Once that sauce has been created, everything's kind of melted and dissolved and mixed together, we're gonna bring it up to a boil. Now, this may very well be the most important step in the entire recipe here, and it is cook time. In order for the cookies to set, because they do not have flour and they do not have eggs, we need to cook the sugar properly in order to provide the structure for the cookie to hold together. Now we're going to be able to achieve that by bringing this liquid mixture up to a boil and boiling it for exactly 90 seconds or 1.5 minutes.
It's bubbling.
Once this is boiled for 90 seconds, we're going to kick it off of the heat. It's going to continue to cook as we go, but we don't want to apply any more heat, because if we overcook these, the cookies will become brittle, they'll be really crumbly, they won't be nice and fudgy like we're looking for. Now that we've got that kicked off of the heat, we're going to take our half a cup of Paisley's famous peanut butter. Thank you, Paisley. We're going to stir that in. Now again, being very, very careful, because the cocoa and the butter mixture with all that sugar is going to be really, really hot still, and it's going to want to stick if it actually hits you. So we're going to be very gentle in doing that. Once that peanut butter's in, we're going to stir it in slowly. You're going to see that start to dissolve and mix in, and it's going to smell fantastic. Paisley, how's that smell?
That smells awesome to me.
Great. Once that peanut butter has been mixed in, then we're going to add our 3 cups of oats and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to stir that in, and you're going to start to see it's going to start to tighten up a little bit. The oats are going to soak in some of that liquid. They're going to start to hydrate, and that's going to start to bind things together as well. And as we're adding more ingredients to the liquid mix, it's going to start to cool that down. And as the sugar and the butter and the peanut butter start to cool down, they're going to start to tighten up a little bit too. And we're going to add some salt. We're going to add a couple of pinches of salt here, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Please feel free to use as much or as little as you want. Again, we want to use salt to bring out all the other flavors, but also to help balance the sweetness of the cookie. Once all that's mixed together, we're going to need to portion them out. Now, we've got a sheet tray with parchment paper on it. You can use wax paper. You can even lay this out on a table or your counter if you want, just a big sheet of parchment paper. Whatever you choose to do will be fine. We're going to use a sheet tray so that way we can move it in and out of wherever we need to while they're cooling. Now we're going to take a couple of spoons and we're going to just kind of drop them onto the parchment paper, and then we're going to press them out just a little bit. Now the yield will depend upon how big of a cookie you want. We're going to go with a smaller cookie so that way we can eat 2 or 3 of them and not feel so bad about ourselves, right, Paige?
Mm-hmm.
They're also going to cool quicker, which is what we want to get to. If you do a bigger cookie, it's a bigger thermal load that will need to cool down, and it'll take longer to do that. Once we've divided that all out, this is the point where we just have to be patient. We need to let everything cool so that way the cookie can be held instead of having to be eaten with a spoon. We're going to cool ours for anywhere from a ½ hour to 45 minutes. If you want to speed up this process, this is why we've got it on a sheet tray. We're going to move ours to the refrigerator. This is going to help cool everything down quicker so we can eat them quicker too. And that's that. Now we have ready to go, no bake cookies. We didn't even need to start our oven. We didn't need flour. We didn't need eggs, and we're ready to eat dessert. One last chef tip here, and a little secret that we are keeping for those that are staying till the end. We really appreciate you and we thank you. No bake cookies actually freeze really, really well. Go ahead and take that sheet tray of your portioned cookies, go toss them in your freezer, let them freeze completely solid, a couple hours or overnight, and then you've got an individually frozen cookie that you can then either throw into a Ziploc bag and keep in your freezer for the rest of the year, or you can put them into little packages and give them away as gifts as well later on in the season. I know we're coming up on Christmas here pretty soon, and these are going to be perfect to give away to family and friends. They'll be fudgy, they'll be delicious, and you know that they're well seasoned, plus they're homemade, which is, in our opinion, almost always better. So, Paisley, thanks for the help.
They're short and sweet.
Till the next one, we'll see you.
Bye. That's
Right.
only what we need
Yep.
for our oat baked cookies.
Our oat baked cookies.